Ten Hag's future remains in the balance at Man United. Manchester United will have a decision to make on the future of Erik ten Hag in the summer. INEOS will assess Erik ten Hag's performance over the season, with his future at Man United uncertain. David Ornstein suggests that the recent Newcastle game won't determine ten Hag's fate, as INEOS considers various factors. INEOS may already have potential replacements in mind, even if ten Hag remains at the helm initially. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag has overseen an inconsistent campaign at Old Trafford, and the Athletic's David Ornstein has insisted that INEOS will judge him over the course of the season, and his future is in the balance. The Red Devils qualified for the Champions League last term and won the Carabao Cup, and with United finishing outside the top 4 positions, there's no doubt they've failed to progress this campaign. With INEOS taking over at Old Trafford earlier this year, they might be considering bringing in their own manager. Ten Hag's future is in the balance at Man United. David Ornstein has provided the latest update. Ornstein, speaking on the Back Pages podcast, has reiterated that the impressive performance against Newcastle United on Wednesday night won't have an impact on his position as manager, with INEOS focusing on many factors when deciding whether Ten Hag will stay in charge. The respected reporter also adds that his future remains in the balance. It will be across the whole season, not just the Newcastle performance, or at least since INEOS have come in, and they'll be watching what's happening on the pitch, what's happening off and around the pitch, on the training ground, behaviours, style of play, character of everybody there at sort of every level. So this was a sign to me that the players are still battling away and fighting for Erik ten Hag. He hasn't, to coin the weird phrase, lost the dressing room. It would seem I'm sure there are some unhappy players at every club, and Man United will be no different. But that was a good performance, and he seemed to stir the crowd up heading towards the cup final. I actually thought that was a really good speech on the pitch. He was impassioned, and it seemed to go down relatively well. But let's not get away from the fact that his future is in the balance. The INEOS hierarchy will be weighing up what to do now. They'll be looking at him on the one hand, and also looking at potential replacements as they have to do if a change is going to be made. Even if Ten Hag keeps his job for the start of the campaign, it's normal for INEOS to have a contingency plan in place. If results worsen or off-the-pitch matters turn toxic, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his team will want a short list of managers who could come in and take over. A host of coaches have been linked with the job, with INEOS likely sounding out potential replacements just in case they opt to pull the trigger. Kieran McKenna linked with Man United role. The Ipswich boss was previously with the Red Devils. Ipswich manager Kieran McKenna has done an excellent job with the soon-to-be Premier League side, managing consecutive promotions from League One to England's top flight. The young coach previously spent time at United in various different roles before joining the Tractor Boys, and the Manchester outfit could be considering bringing him back to the club. According to The Guardian, United are pondering whether to appoint McKenna if they decide to sack Ten Hag. It might be considered a risk due to his lack of experience, but the work he's done during his time at Ipswich is nothing short of sensational. Man United have made no decision on Ten Hag amid Frank links. Thomas Frank is among the managers linked with a move to Manchester United in light of speculation surrounding Erik ten Hag's future at the club. Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag has been under fire after a disappointing campaign. Brentford boss Thomas Frank is among the names linked as a potential replacement. Fabrizio Romano says the club are yet to make any decisions with football still to be played. It has been a turbulent season for Manchester United boss Erik ten Hag as speculation surrounding his future at the club intensifies. United crashed out of the Champions League at the group stage, and they currently sit 8th in the Premier League standings with 2 games left to play. A number of managers have been tipped to take over the job in the event United opt to part ways with the Dutch manager. The most recent link involves Brentford's Thomas Frank, with the Telegraph claiming the Danish coach is a strong contender and has impressed those at Old Trafford. Frank initially joined Brentford in 2016 as an assistant, but was later promoted in 2018. Since then, he's gone on to guide the club to promotion in 2021 after they claimed victory in the Championship playoff final. They secured 13th and 9th placed finishes in the following campaigns and, despite a more disappointing season this term, they avoided getting sucked into a serious relegation battle. Romano, Man United links to Frank, too early. Despite widespread speculation, it appears no decision has been made with regard to Ten Hag's future at United. As per Fabrizio Romano in his daily briefing, there is nothing concrete in the franc links, and there won't be until the club determine whether they want to push on with Ten Hag. Still, as I always repeat about Manchester United, no decision has been made about Ten Hag's position, and we have to wait for that in order to understand what they will do with the new manager. There are many links, but nothing will be concrete until they decide on Ten Hag. I like Frank and he's done an impressive job at Brentford, but it's too early at the moment to be talking about him or anyone else as a candidate for United. Let's see how Ten Hag ends the season, with 2 more league matches and the FA Cup final still to come. United will contest 2 further Premier League fixtures against Newcastle United and Brighton, and can still close the gap on 6th and 7th. Not only that, they are still in with a shout of clinching silverware when they take on Manchester City in this year's FA Cup final later this month. Bruno Fernandes to stay at United. Ten Hag isn't the only United employee to be linked with a move away from the club, as rumours surrounding the future of midfielder Bruno Fernandes have gained traction in recent weeks. The Portuguese international has been a mainstay in the United team since his arrival in 2020, and he is the current captain of the club. However, that hasn't stopped the rumour mill. As per the Independent, Bayern Munich were among the clubs eyeing a move for the 29-year-old. In light of that news, another update from The Athletic's David Ornstein puts to bed any suggestions he will leave, as the journalist cited a crunch talks that took place between the players' camp and the club, in which all parties were seemingly on the same page about him remaining at Old Trafford. Get rid of them, Wayne Rooney delivers brutal Manchester United squad verdict to Erik Ten Hag. Man United are anticipated to have a busy summer transfer window as Sir Jim Ratcliffe assumes control of recruitment ahead of next season. Manchester United icon Wayne Rooney has urged Erik Ten Hag to either sell or release the vast majority of his squad ahead of next season. United have struggled this campaign with performances below par throughout. Early exits in the Champions League and Carabao Cup have been compounded by a poor Premier League season, which is likely to end with the Reds finishing 7th or 8th. Men Sport understands United are open to offers to all but 4 players this summer, as they look to cut down their high wage bill. Rasmus Højlund, Andre Onana, Alejandro Garnacho and Kobbie Mainoo are all believed to be off the table for other clubs. In the Sky Sports studio following the dramatic 3-2 win over Newcastle on Wednesday night, Rooney was asked to give his verdict on the United squad, and he did not hold back about the moves Ten Hag and company should be making this summer. "You have to build the team around Bruno Fernandes," he said. "He's the one player with quality, he has got fight in him. I think the young players, and then, all the other players, get rid of them. I think you keep the young players, you keep Bruno, and I think it has to be a massive clear out. It has to be. It is not going to be in 1 year. I think it has got to be over the next couple of years. Onana, I think he has got better. He had a shaky start to the season, but I think he has got better. Defenders, for me I think, Diogo Dalot has done well, Harry Maguire has had an in and out season. To compete they need better players to compete in this league. Don't get me wrong, these players are good players, and good Premier League players, but to compete with Man City, Liverpool and Arsenal, they need better players. Marcus Rashford, we all know Marcus has the ability and capability to play at the top level. And we haven't seen that. I just wonder, is it time for Marcus himself to go elsewhere? I don't know.